In Vernon, Canada, a girl and her dad show up in style-think horse-drawn carriage pulling right up to Mrs. Name's place. That's Rican, his sister, to whom he promptly entrusts his daughter, Thérèse. He did so for a critical sailing journey, vowing to return for Thérèse as swiftly as possible. His search for Thérèse's care led to Mrs. Rican's initial refusal, burdened by her son Camille. Yet a bag of money from Thérèse's father, with promises of more, soon swayed Mrs. Rican's heart. Mrs. Rican agreed, and from that day Thérèse became her ward. Thérèse quickly stepped in, diligently nursing Camille through a persistent cough that just wouldn't quit, even sharing his bed for years. Then, one morning, Mrs. Rican arrived with devastating news. Thérèse's father had died. Confused about her future, Thérèse looked to Mrs. Rican for guidance. Mrs. Rican assured Thérèse she could live on her father's pension, but the very next day, Camille announced their sudden move to Paris for his new job, upending everything once more. Over lunch, the family grappled with this sudden Parisian future. Despite Rican's health worries, he smoothly persuaded Camille, who even envisioned opening her own chic shop amidst the Parisian streets. Camille, envisioning their future, proposed moving in after Rican married Thérèse, a cousin completely blindsided by this wedding plan and their familial ties. Yet, the wedding proceeded, and despite Thérèse's shock, the three soon relocated to Paris. Once there, Mrs. Rican quickly established their home and her business. Her new surroundings soon welcomed a cherished circle of friends and regular Thursday Domino's partners. One fateful evening, as they gathered, their anxious wait for Camille began. As their anxious wait for Camille stretched on, one friend brought his childhood pal, Laurent, from the office. Domino's began, and easy talk flowed. Amidst the easy talk, Laurent revealed his passion for painting, immediately drawing the quiet gaze of Thérèse by the window, a silent mutual intrigue sparking between them. After the game, Laurent's busy painting Camille with Thérèse just chilling. He's low-key, humble bragging about his first model, and Thérèse is so zoned in, she totally misses Mrs. So engrossed, Thérèse barely hears Mrs. Rican's call until Laurent interrupts, eager to capture her silhouette within Camille's evolving portrait. Upon its completion, the stunning portrait drew universal admiration, thrilling Camille and his mother, who yearned to celebrate. But in the afterglow of that triumph, Thérèse found herself alone with Laurent, and in a shared moment of undeniable chemistry, their secret, passionate affair ignited, often hidden during lunch breaks. To sustain their hidden passion, Thérèse frequently faked headaches, retreating to her room, her ruse convincing Mrs. Rican. Her secret tryst with Laurent lifted Thérèse's spirits, transforming her into a brighter soul, yet their longing for permanence remained a dangerous, forbidden dream. The weight of this secret often left Thérèse sleepless, a silent torment Camille unsettlingly discovered one fateful night. He tried to soothe her, but Thérèse's deepening melancholy soon drove Camille to seek solace and advice from their mutual friend, Laurent. Laurent's advice to Camille was to love Thérèse, a cruel twist as their secret affair blazed. Suddenly, Camille announced they were returning to their hometown, Vernon. Thérèse, desperate, tried to sway him, but Camille remained resolute. Later that night, Thérèse sneaks over to Laurent's place and spills all the tea. She's freaking out about the move. Laurent, being the genius he is, then subtly suggests that maybe Camille needs to, disappear. The very next day, an unsuspecting Camille led Thérèse and Laurent on a peaceful riverside stroll, eventually resting under a tree where Camille drifted into a fateful sleep on Thérèse's lap. Upon Camille's awakening, after brief pleasantries, the trio spontaneously chose to rent a boat. But as they prepared to board, Thérèse faltered, her mind far away, until Laurent's tender "I love you" brought her back. She boarded, and their journey began on calm waters, but that serenity would not endure. Instead, chaos erupted as only Thérèse and Laurent returned, Camille gone. Laurent spun a tale. Camille's wild dancing had capsized their boat, a flimsy, desperate lie designed to hide the horrific truth of that night. A dark truth he and those carefully concealed. But Rican was utterly devastated by her son's death. His funeral held the very next day. Even Camille's swift funeral and Rican's sorrow couldn't break the lovers' secret meetings, as theirs and Laurent still plotted their eventual marriage. All while there's feigned grief, comforting Mrs. Rican each morning. Yet, despite Thérèse's comfort, Mrs. Rican's nights were haunted by Camille and his death. While Mrs. Rican grieved, Thérèse, consumed by guilt, drowned in dreams of despair. Laurent, in secret visits, promised their future, hinting at a new life and inherited wealth. Acquiring it meant the shop was still legally Mrs. Rican's. 8 months later, Mrs. Rican quietly began to accept her son's passing. One Thursday, during their regular Domino's, Inspector Michaud observed Thérèse looking profoundly ill, attributing it to her prolonged widowhood. To combat her loneliness, Michaud and Jev proposed she find a husband in Laurent. Rickon soon saw the wisdom, agreeing that a known companion offered the soapy there's more comfort than a stranger. Her blessing given, the group then delivered this crucial news to Thérèse and Laurent. Thérèse feigned protest, claiming Laurent was like a brother, yet he swiftly accepted, and soon their wedding unfolded at the church. With the marriage complete, Rickon updated her will, leaving the shop and money to them, but they secretly harbored deep guilt. On their wedding night, haunted by the memory, she pressed Laurent for details of Camille's death, recalling only her final, desperate scream before closing her eyes. Thérèse forced Laurent to reenact the moment, but his claim of Camille's passivity defied her own agonizing memory. Our girl totally freaked, fixated on Camille screaming her name. Rickon overheard, Laurent swiftly silenced her. Leading the passing maid to dismiss the sounds as mere commotion. One afternoon, there's Laurent and Mrs. Departon. Rickon enjoyed a tranquil afternoon in the garden. Her peaceful reflections on youth were shattered by a sudden stroke, revealing Camille's chilling ghost. The doctor's chilling verdict offered Thérèse only instructions, no real hope for recovery. With no cure, Thérèse and Laurent's daily lives became defined by her needs, unmasking Laurent's true self. The unmasked Laurent grew short-tempered and rude, becoming aggressive in a bath as Thérèse pressed about Camille's death. The shocking truths, overheard by Mrs. Requeen, left her speechless. Things got wild. She nearly drowned in the tub from their fight. Then, knowing their secret, she tried exposing them by scratching clues into the domino table with her nails, only to totally run out of steam. Barely managing Thérèse and Laurent before she totally crashed, Gev completely whiffed her meaning, thinking it was just a sweet thank you for having them. Desperate, she tried again. So she tried to scrawl a message with a stick and some spilled ink on the floor, but Thérèse was literally just about to bounce, claiming a headache. Convenient much. As Thérèse departed, Rickon remained, forgotten in her chair overnight. Forgotten and alone through the night, Rickon desperately scratched 3 vital words onto the floor with a stick before Thérèse returned the next morning. When dawn broke, Laurent was nowhere to be found, already out procuring a chilling, deadly poison. His dark motives unknown, Suzanne arrived to visit Mrs. Her calls at the front desk echoed, finding no reply. Plot twist. Thérèse was just cooking, but with zero response, Suzanne was like, "Fine, I'll go up myself." As she began her ascent, a sudden house cat startled her. The jolt revealed a chilling message: "There's Laurent's killers." Suzanne, absolutely shook, bolts from the house to spill the tea. Moments later, Thérèse comes downstairs calling for her, but Suzanne's already gone, leaving her hanging. Alone, Thérèse spots a terrifying message on the floor, then collapses, desperately begging Mrs. Drain. Rickon for forgiveness, even offering her life in exchange for mercy. Yet, unknown to Thérèse, Laurent too sensed their dark secret was about to be revealed. Their worst fears materialized when the doorbell rang, revealing a man in a police uniform. Turns out it was just Olivier, a friend in uniform, but Thérèse swiftly cloaked the incriminating message before he could even clock it. Olivier, seemingly casual, explained he hadn't seen Mrs. Rickon in ages and just wanted to visit. Thérèse, however, flatly refused his visit, then quickly moved Mrs. Rickon with Laurent. With Laurent, Mrs. Rickon soon wandered to the river's edge. Unaware of their dark intentions, she watched Laurent closely, noticing something held tightly in his hand. By the river, a deceptive picnic began as Thérèse poured Laurent a fateful glass of wine. As he accepted the fateful glass, Laurent subtly turned, secretly lacing it with poison, oblivious that Thérèse now clutched a hidden knife. Amidst the escalating danger, Laurent's voice cut through the air, asking if she loved him, only for the Zez to coldly confess she never truly did. Laurent chillingly confessed his true love for her only ignited after Camille's death. A terrible, unspoken truth dawned. They both understood the other's deadly intent. A morbid challenge ensued. Laurent dared Thérèse to kill him, but she insisted he drink the poisoned wine first, watching him choke. Moments later, Thérèse joined him, drinking the same poison, so by the time Suzanne returned with help, both were already gone. Their final embrace sealed a tragic, enduring silence. A silence that echoes still.